Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. All right, Grandma, you gotta tell us some old stories. Some old stories. Now, when you were born, did you guys live on the east side over there? When you were born?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say I was off Linden somewhere?
Yeah.
Linden Avenue?
Yeah.
Did you go to Dayton Public Schools?
Yes.
When did you guys move to Northridge?
I think I was in the 3rd grade, maybe.
How much older are you than Kathy?
2 years.
So she was in 1st grade?
She was starting school, so she was probably in the 1st grade and I was in the 3rd grade, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that.
And did you say Grandpa Woody built that house, or did the electricity in it, or something? There was something you said that he did with
He built the back porch.
the back porch.
Yeah.
Did he do that when you guys first kind of got it, or was you?
No, it was when we was teenagers, I guess.
Yeah. And then so you was like in 3rd or 4th grade when you started Northridge.
Yeah, 3rd grade. I went over there to Grafton Kennedy.
Yeah, that's where Daddy went to elementary school.
Oh.
And your mommy.
And your mom.
And your Uncle Dustin.
Now it's gone.
And Cody.
Oh.
And Cody.
Yep, and then now it's the tornado destroyed it. Yep, you've seen it.
That's not good.
You guys got videos of you guys hanging out over at Grafton playing.
I do not remember that.
Yeah.
How old was I when you shot those videos?
You got videos when you were like 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. I took you to Grafton a few times. I think the last video, it was a couple weeks before the tornado actually destroyed the building. I got a video of them eating a Happy Meal out in front of it. Like, that was the last video I shot. But before it got damaged, I also shot footage of it when it was destroyed, you know what I mean? But, yeah, pretty wild.
That is wild.
Did you see all that in New Orleans? That's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Did Todd message you?
He called me. I need to call him back.
I didn't talk to him. He messaged me and said he was okay, and, you know.
Yeah, I seen on
said that
the
they
internet
were
where
starting to clean up, you know.
Yeah.
Said now the cleanup begins. So I don't know if it, I just wonder if it hurt his house where he lived, or.
Yeah. I know my buddy Roach, it tore off the carport or something off his house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they said they was standing under it when it fell, and they didn't get hurt. But
I figure, Todd ain't got any electricity yet. So I figure everybody down there probably don't have electricity.
yeah, they said the French Quarter's up and going again.
Huh?
The French Quarter, they got electricity in the French Quarter for sure.
Huh.
I don't know if they do in the Bywater there or not.
They might have had generators in the.
Well, they got it, the grid. I think the grid that the French Quarter is on is like a hospital grid too.
Oh.
So they got to have, you know, and it's the main tourist spot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if a lot of people be coming for tourism right this moment.
No, they.
But there might be tourists down there already that have been there. You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? That's why I love New Orleans. But with me being a comic book and paper person, I couldn't really live there without worrying about all my papers getting water damaged or something. Your grandma Rita was with Johnny O'Connor, and we lived down in the 3rd Ward, and he had an awesome comic book collection. And when Hurricane Katrina hit, it destroyed his entire collection. They said the comics, he had so many comics, that when the floodwaters came in, all the comics, you know, were floating on the top of the water. So when all the water receded, you know, the comics were floating everywhere in the house. He said it was like a carpet in the entire house of comic books.
Oh, God.
It's terrible.
That is so terrible.
I remember reading all of his Sandman comics and Hellblazers and Spawns. And he had a lot of cool stuff. He used to take me to the comic book shop down there.
Mm.
And I worked at a comic book shop when I was 12. It was a newspaper stand technically, and they sold magazines and comics and all that. And they had a snowball machine in the back where you make the little ices and flavor them. And I worked at the snowball concession stand, and I would sell people their ices and make them, and I'd listen to my music back there, and I'd take all my trade in comic books. I didn't take no money. I took everything in comics.
And he still does.
Yep, that was the beginning of something that's been with me my whole life, working for comics.
That's
Mom used to
amazing.
told me very funny things, that when you couldn't sleep, Daddy, you would go to the store in your 20s and you would just go buy little kid things of superheroes.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
There's all
probably
kind of,
true.
there's all kind of Hawk body wash, bubble bath stuff down there, licorice of Spider-Man, candy of Spider-Man,
Toothbrush,
toys.
Yeah,
hand sanitizer.
I'd get whatever that had superheroes on it.
That's funny.
Now, what are your oldest memories? What's some of the oldest memories that you can remember? Just random, whatever. Just old stuff from back in the day. What's your oldest memory with Kathy?
Kathy. Her peeing the bed with me.
What, did you guys share a bed?
Yeah,
And she peed the bed and woke you up?
yeah,
That's your oldest memory of your sister?
yeah.
Yeah. How would you like that to be the oldest memory of your sister?
Very fun. Turns out we're sleeping together tonight, Nola. We did the wheel. We did the spin wheel that said yes or no, and you got yes.
I'd be sleeping and all of a sudden
So.
I wake up.
Poor
Yeah,
Randy.
that'd wake you up, wouldn't it?
That'd be bad. That would be bad. I'd sleep on the couch if that happened. How would you?
Now, what's some memories with Woody that you have?
I don't know.
Did you guys go fishing a lot?
Every day.
Did you every day?
About every day.
Yeah.
Went out to the gravel pit and fished for bluegills.
Now, is that the one there in Northridge?
No.
Oh,
I don't know where it was. It was a little piece away, but it took us maybe 10, 15 minutes to get there or more. But it was a gravel pit. And we'd go there about every day after he'd get off work. We'd fish. We'd bring the fish home and eat them.
yeah.
That sounds fun.
I remember, when was that? Was it 87, 88, when that big old turtle was out there? You remember that big tortoise?
Yeah.
It was just, you guys opened the door, because I remember
Yeah.
you came and got me, and you was like, look at this. And
Yeah.
he was like, where did this come from?
It must have come from the woods.
And it was it was huge. It was like,
Do you remember we took it to Grandma?
took it to Grandma Louise, and Grandma Louise cooked it.
Oh, poor turtle.
And
Poor
they,
turtle.
and they ate it.
Oh, poor
Did
turtle.
you eat some of that turtle
Yeah,
soup?
it's
Yeah,
good.
Mom, she ate some of that turtle.
Did you?
Oh,
Poor
No.
turtle.
It's good. It tastes just like chicken meat.
Oh my, that poor sad innocent turtle.
It was big too. It was like shell-like.
Hey, your grandma, we ate everything. Your grandpa used to, we would go fishing. Of course, we eat the fish. And he'd go hunting. We eat the rabbits and squirrels, and we ate coons and pheasants and quail, ducks.
What's raccoon taste like?
It was kind of greasy. Grandma barbecued it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I ain't never thought about eating raccoon.
Yeah, we did.
What'd you say you ate one time, Daddy? We went to one restaurant one time.
You guys
Alligator.
had alligator, and I want to say you had snake.
No. The snake was like $100.
Oh yeah, we didn't get the snake. You had antelope meat, buffalo. So I think something like that. So, but it was like sausage.
It was yummy.
Yeah. It was all good stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a really good restaurant.
Yeah. We don't do that experimental eating too much, do we?
No.
No.
Wayne called me. His brother's got the COVID.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And Cody called today. He said that Jaybird's little kids has got the flu or something. They don't know what it is. They've been, I guess, his wife took off work today to be with the oldest one. I think it's the oldest one sick.
Yeah.
Who?
He's been sick
Julian
for a couple
and John.
days. I don't know. Might just be the flu or something.
Yeah. So you girls got lucky when you got a little sick. You didn't have it, huh?
Or they might have had the flu with that.
Yeah,
It
they
was
say
very
there's
bad.
some kind of little flu going around. It's only like 24 hours or something, you know, just, I don't know.
That's not a problem.
What'd your mom used to do with you?
Huh?
What Louise used to do with you when you guys were little? Did you guys, because you go fishing a lot with Grandpa.
Yeah.
Did Louise show you how to cook when you was little, or is she into that? Showing you how to cook, or what? What did you
Yeah,
guys do?
she showed us how to cook. But she'd be outside with us playing.
Did she play
Yeah.
with you guys a lot of?
Yeah, she played a lot outside with us. I mean, did a lot of stuff outside with us. We had little dance parties and all kinds of stuff out on the driveway. We'd put our phonograph out there and
Jam
play
out, huh?
records and dance and
Did you have friends over and do that? Or
yeah, the whole neighborhood.
what, would be at Grandma's house dancing in the driveway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the kids in the neighborhood.
Huh. That's where, that's where Cody lives now.
Oh.
That's what she's talking about. Yeah, Grandma in that driveway, her chimney, that little, how you could open that little black part and get in there. I used to put my G.I. Joes, I'd play in there with my G.I. Joes all the time, because it was all like ashes, and it's all like, and I'd rub them in there like they're all like, "Rrrr." And I'd leave them in there. And I want to say one of them got burned up sometime or something.
Probably
like that.
did.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Dad,
Huh?
your dad used to bury his men in the garden back there, in
Yeah.
your grandma's garden.
Would you ever
And your
try
grandma, when she'd dig them up, she would keep them and she'd wash them all up, and she'd put them in a box and give him back to him at Christmas time.
Yeah, and I always thought that I was like, wow, she knows which ones I'm missing. She'd just be giving me the ones I lost. Because I didn't know where I put them. I'd have them fighting each other, and then they'd die, and I'd bury them. And then I'd forget I buried them. And she'd find them when she's planting her tomatoes and stuff.
There's probably other men
Yeah.
buried under that.
Caleb's probably found a couple, like, look at this. This
Yeah.
is cool.
Probably.
Now, how old was you when you met Harold?
15.
15. How much older was he than you?
3 years, I think.
So he was like 18,
2
you was
years.
15.
Oh, yeah, about 3 years older
Yeah.
than me.
Kind of like me and Nikki. I think I'm more like 2 years older than
Yeah.
her, but
About
and that's your great grandpa Harold,
Oh.
yeah, which is your grandma Rita's dad. So she had a baby. She had 2 babies with Harold. Who's that? Rita and who?
Jimmy.
Yeah, yeah. Now, how long were you and Harold together?
about 5 years or 6, something like that.
Yeah. Now you remember when you found out you was pregnant with Rita?
Not really,
No.
no.
Y'all remember did you just start showing, or did you notice because of your lady time, or what?
Yeah, probably.
how was the pregnancy with Rita and her birth?
It was good.
What about Jimmy?
Huh?
What about Jimmy?
They were both good.
You didn't have any troubles with your pregnancies or nothing?
No sickness or nothing.
Hmm.
I didn't get sick at my stomach or nothing.
Yeah.
That's good.
And how much older is Rita than Jimmy?
4 years.
Is it 4 years? Was Rita excited about Jimmy when Jimmy was born?
No.
Was she jealous?
Yeah.
Yeah. She went from being that only child and getting all the attention.
Yeah.
Mama Kitty just stuffed her paws underneath the rug.
What'd she do?
Stuffed her paws underneath the rug.
She's digging under the rug. Look at her. She's like, what's under here? See if I find me something under here, huh? Now, did Jimmy and Rita get along when they was little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rita pretty much, she took care of Jimmy a lot.
While you was working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took care of Jimmy a lot.
Oh, she looks funny. Stuffing her paws underneath that rug.
Now, when did you move? Did you meet Gene up here and then move to Kentucky?
Yeah.
He was up here working at GM with you?
Yeah, well, I rented the house on Walbrook from him.
Oh, he owned that house?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. He owned that house.
Well,
Yeah.
So he was already living up here?
Yeah, he was.
What made him come here? Was it GM? Because he was originally from Williamsburg, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he came up here when he was 17 years old and got a job at GM.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was
There
that
was
young.
no jobs down there. So he came up here and got a job at GM. And he'd just drive back and forth, on the weekends.
Yeah, he'd go down there and stay on the weekends.
Yeah.
Now, was his mom and dad still alive then?
Yeah.
Did they live in the house that he lived in?
They lived in the old house.
Oh, the old house,
The
yeah.
old house. You know where the old house was?
Yeah. Now, the house that I always knew down there, was it
They had that built.
built? They had it built?
They had it built.
Yeah. That's old George's place now, huh?
Yeah, that house burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Rebuilt a house there.
Does he still rent out that one spot? I remember that one area was always rented out to somebody.
I don't think so. I don't think he does. I don't know.
Now, you and Jean, did you get married up here?
We got married in Jellicoe.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Jellicoe's in Tennessee. That's right down there by Williamsburg. That's where your Aunt Beck lives, is in Jellicoe. Was you both living down there already?
No.
No.
No, I still worked at Delco.
Now, when you moved down there to Williamsburg, did you both quit your jobs up here?
I quit my job. He didn't. He went back and forth.
Oh, was he still going back and forth to Dayton while you was living down there in Williamsburg?
Yeah.
Granny, what was your first job?
What was my first job? You mean where I got a real paycheck?
Yeah.
I worked at a pharmaceutical company.
What's that?
That's a place that makes drugs.
Prescription drugs.
Prescription drugs for hospitals and doctors. And at first I labeled stuff. Labeled the medicines and stuff.
Oh.
But then I didn't like that too much. So I went to the back and I worked at shipping and receiving. So I just shipped everything out. Unloaded trucks and loaded trucks up with medicine to go to the doctors and the hospitals. That's what I did.
Mama Kitty's biting your rug, or she just was. She turned on her back and just started biting your rug and did this. She's very cute.
Oh. Now, when Rita found out she was pregnant with me, did she come and tell you right away?
No, she didn't tell me. No.
How'd you find out?
She ran away. She ran away.
Did she?
Yeah.
Because
And she was with Darren.
Okay, now let's see. When, because you guys were all living in Williamsburg, right?
Mhm.
And she was dating my dad,
Mhm.
and she got pregnant with my dad.
Mhm.
And then you guys came up here?
We came
You
up
moved
here.
back after that?
Yeah, we moved up here to live.
And that's before you knew she was pregnant?
Yeah.
And so then she started dating Darren while she was here, and then she ran away and was with Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad had asked her to marry him, and she was supposed to get married to him, and they had a what do you call it, a shower for her down in Williamsburg and everything, and she.
Yeah, I remember her telling me a story about when he came to pick her up, and she said she got about down to Cincinnati, and she was like, "Turn around and take me back to Dayton. I don't want to do this." She said she just thought about it, and she was like, the idea of just being a Williamsburg wife in the kitchen, doing that whole thing, and going to the ball games and cooking dinner, and she's like, it just did not. I couldn't imagine the rest of my life being like that.
Yeah.
She probably made a good call, considering how out there and how much she did like to journey and experience
Yeah.
stuff. Like, she wouldn't have been happy there. They would have
Yeah.
probably ended up,
Or maybe she'd have changed Williamsburg.
never know. It might have been a hip spot.
Yeah, might have been.
Yeah. Well, how'd you find out? She's pregnant. with you? Was that when did you not find out until she?
The police called me, and she had overdosed.
So that's when you found out?
That's when I found out.
I did not know that. I thought you knew about me before that.
I don't think I did.
Yeah. I mean, I was never told that you did. I just
No.
always assumed that you
And
did.
I know that when I went to get her, and she wouldn't come home with me, and she went, and the lady there told me, she says, you might as well let her go, just because she's not gonna, you can't make her go with you.
And why couldn't you? She was still underage.
She was still underage. She says she won't stay. She says you might as well just, because I had to sign for her to get, her stomach pumped or whatever they did. I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
And she went home with Darren, and that was it.
How old was she when
She was 16.
She got pregnant when she was 15 and had me when she was 16.
So she was pregnant.
Now, when she went home with Darren, I mean, did you guys have a talking relationship then during
Not
that time?
really, uh-uh.
So what? Not until I was born?
I can't, it seemed like, I can't hardly remember really. I know that she came back to live with me before you were born.
Yeah.
And because Jean had insurance on her, which paid for, the gynecologist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Was she still with Darren then?
Yeah,
I mean, they were still dating.
yeah.
And then, how old was I? Like 6 months, 8 months, a year when he got killed? Or was I like 2? Or seems like, was I like?
You were little.
I was less than a year, wasn't I?
She was gone with Jade when Darren got killed.
Oh, well, She had already started dating Jade?
Yeah, she was gone with Jade on the sickle. She was out of
Yeah.
town.
All those photos we see where she's in New York and California and
Yeah.
all those different places.
And I can't remember if she called me or I don't think I could get a hold of her, you know, but anyway, when she called I told her what happened, you know. But she didn't come back, I don't think, for the funeral. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
See, I always assumed, because she always told me that when Darren died, when they found him, he had pulled a picture of me and her out of his wallet.
Well,
And
he might have.
And was
but
looking at that picture or something and so I just always assumed that they were still together at the time.
no. He was at a card game when he got killed.
Yeah, it was at a bar, wasn't it? Outside the bar or
I
something?
don't know if it was at the bar or was it a house or what, but it was a card game, I know, and
And he was a Darren Price, right? Is it Price?
Price, yeah.
Brady.
What are you doing, Key Cat?
She does that all the time.
You think you're gonna get something out there?
I guess.
Cute. No, I need a fluff ball. A fluff ball, but a cute one. Oh, she's so cute.
He's a little Key Cat. Oh, they're Key Cat. They're Key Cat. Oh, they're pretty Key Cat. Hi. You good girl? Hmm. Mommy Key Cat. Kitty good. She a good girl. Yeah.
Purring.
Yeah. She just likes a little love sometimes, don't you? As long as it's your idea.
Come here, Mommy. No. Aw. She's done that to me before. Oh, she rubs
She
gets
wants me to go in there and put some food in her bowl.
They're a little kitty. Oh.
Aww. That's cute looking. I don't know what she's doing. She's rubbing her face onto the,
It feels good to them, and it's also a way for them to be like, this is mine.
Oh.
So when your cats do that to you, part of it is it feels good, and part of it is they're claiming you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Willis did that to me before.
Huh.
He's did that to my bed a lot of times, so he must be trying to claim my bed.
Like I said, part of it's, you know what I mean, it feels good, but they're putting their scent, they're rubbing their scent on you,
Huh.
which is basically saying, that's my Nancy.
Willis did that to me always.
And he's like, she's like, this is my table, and that's my Nancy.
What was that? Mommy! Kiko! Mama Kiko! Oh, she's so precious looking. She's taking a nap. Her tail's fluffy.
She's got a hard life.
There she
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Does she?
Got a rough life.
Oh no, see, I